In the courtyard, Cinderella scrubs the stones, her face smudged with dirt, a stark contrast to her surroundings. From an upstairs window, Drusilla and Griselda mock Cinderella, their laughter echoing in the air. "Cinderella, the laundry isn't going to wash itself." Drusilla's shrill voice pierces the morning air. Cinderella sighs, her weariness evident, yet her inherent kindness shines through the grime. In the dim attic room, Cinderella sits hunched by the cold fireplace, her nimble fingers carefully mending her ragged dress. Moonlight spills through the small window, casting long, haunting shadows across the cramped space. She dreams of the royal ball, her imagination conjuring vivid images of swirling waltzes and elegant gowns. Suddenly, the stepsisters burst into the room, their cruel laughter echoing through the small space. Lady Tremaine sneers, her voice dripping with disdain. "You? At the ball? Don't be absurd." In the dim attic room, Cinderella sits cloaked in shadow by the fireplace, her tears reflecting the dying embers. Suddenly, the attic is filled with a blinding burst of light, chasing away the darkness and despair. Radiating a gentle and comforting warmth, the fairy godmother materializes, a beacon of hope in the desolate space. Her ethereal presence fills the room, a promise of magic hanging in the air. With a tender smile, she reassures the heartbroken Cinderella. "Don't cry, my dear, you shall go to the ball." Under the silvery glow of the moon, the fairy godmother raises her wand, a silent promise hanging in the night air. A plump pumpkin begins to swell, its skin shimmering as it magically transforms into a gleaming golden carriage. Tiny mice, caught in the spell, morph into magnificent white horses, their manes flowing like liquid moonlight. "The magic ends at midnight," warns the fairy godmother, her voice echoing softly in the enchanted courtyard. Cinderella, her eyes wide with wonder and gratitude, vows, "I promise to remember." The golden carriage awaits, bathed in ethereal light, a beacon of hope against the approaching darkness. Cinderella steps into the grand ballroom, an ethereal vision that captures every eye. Prince Charming, instantly smitten, approaches Cinderella, his hand outstretched in a silent invitation. They dance gracefully under the glittering chandeliers, lost in each other's eyes. The joyous spell shatters as the clock begins to chime midnight, and panic flashes across Cinderella's face. Cinderella, a vision of silk and mounting despair, bursts from the brilliantly lit palace, her silhouette stark against the warm glow. Her delicate feet strike the unforgiving marble steps as she descends, each impact echoing her growing regret. A single glass slipper breaks free, bouncing down the steps, each chime a fading echo of the magical night. Silhouetted in the grand doorway, the prince watches her vanish into the shadows, a silent witness to her desperate flight. He kneels on the cold stone, his fingers closing around the shimmering glass slipper, a tangible fragment of a dream. Clutching the fragile slipper, the prince holds on to the promise of their fleeting, yet profound connection. The prince's men march into Cinderella's courtyard, the shimmering glass slipper held high, a beacon of hope and despair. Driven by desperation, Drusilla and Griselda claw and scramble, their clumsy feet failing to squeeze into the delicate slipper. Cinderella steps forward, her movements hesitant yet graceful, her eyes downcast in quiet anticipation. Her soft voice cuts through the tense atmosphere. "May I try?" Lady Tremaine watches with a hidden, calculating gaze, the silence amplifying the moment's gravity. And when Cinderella slipped her foot into the shoe, it fit perfectly. The prince smiled, and he knew she was the one. He took her to the palace, and soon they were married with great joy and celebration. And from that day on, Cinderella lived happily ever after, with kindness and grace forever in her heart.